Good morning, my dear students. I am again with one video, that is Sonnet 18, a poem by William Shakespeare. This poem is a sonnet, William Shakespeare, we have already done. Now, this is a sonnet by William Shakespeare, this is prescribed in your syllabus in BA third semester. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, was a well-known playwright and a poet of 16th century, and as you already know, 16th century is known as Elizabethan period, or in literature this is English Elizabethan period. Shakespeare's dramatic career extended over a period of 24 years, and this period was 1588 to 1612. In which he wrote many plays, more than 30 plays and 154 sonnet. Because we are now talking about the sonnet, so our particular stress will be on the sonnet. So he wrote 154 sonnet. He is often called England's national poet. He was well recognized poet of his time, and he was called the national poet of the country, and it's England. His plays were translated into the many languages and performed moreover than those of any other playwright. Because of his popularity, because of his well-written plays, he was performed by for many years, and it was translated in many languages. Now come to the sonnet. His famous sonnets, last of his dramatic work, non-dramatic work, was published in 1609. His sonnets were published in 1609. Now I am coming to the Sonnet 18. Sonnet 18 is also titled as Shall I Compare Thee to the Summer Day? The other name of the sonnet is Shall I Compare Thee to the Summer Day, is the best known sonnet in the sonnet sequence of Shakespeare. Sonnet sequence means 154 sonnets he has wrote, and this is a sonnet sequence, and this sonnet is placed as the number 18, and the other name of this sonnet is Shall I Compare Thee to the Summer Day. Is it clear to you that we have the sonnet sequence of 154 sonnets? Okay, and this sonnet is at the number 18, and the other name of this sonnet is Shall I Compare Thee to the Summer Day. In the sequence of 154 sonnet 1 to 17, is it clear to you that total sonnet Shakespeare wrote is 154 sonnet, and this is a sequence of 154 sonnets. Okay, up to the 1 to 17, the poet seems to trying his friend. His friend was fair youth, okay, to marry and have children. In this way, he feels that this is the way to immortalize a person, and he feels that it is the only way to immortalize. What I mean to say is that up to the 1 to 17 sonnet, the total number of sonnet is 154, and up to 1 to 17, the purpose of the sonnet is to immortalize his friend by convincing him to get married and have children. Up to 1 to 17, poet feels that a person becomes immortal if he has a family, if he have children, and if he gets married into the life. But in Sonnet 18, which is in our syllabus, Sonnet 18, which we are talking about, and we will do the reference of the sonnet. In Sonnet 18, he says that it was the first poem in which he explicitly does not encourage the fair youth to have marriage and children. In Sonnet 18, he is not trying to convince him to get married. Then what he is trying to convince? In the next slide, you see that rather he tries to pay tribute to the beauty of his friend. He wants to glorify his friend through appreciating his beauty in his sonnet, and in this way he feels that he will immortalize his friend by appreciating his beauty into the sonnet. Is it clear? 1 to 17, he was trying to convince his friend to get married and have children, and Shakespeare feels that this is the way to immortalize his friend. But in the 18th sonnet, he feels that he will glorify the beauty he will pay tribute to the beauty of his friend, and in this way he will immortalize his friend. The poet believes that through his poetic power, he will be able to immortalize the quality of fair youth. Now, what this fair youth is, I hope you understand. Fair youth is his friend to whom he is addressing in this sonnet. And he says he has the poetic power. Shakespeare says he has the poetic power, and he will appreciate the beauty of his friend in his sonnets, and in this way people will read him or know about him after a long time, and in this way he will be immortalized into the world. The poem is a statement of praise about the beauty of fair youth, which is more lovely and the temperate than the summer day. The summer day in England is no doubt very beautiful, as it is not in India, but poet says that his friend is very beautiful character wise as well as look wise. His friend is more beautiful than the summer season. This poem is remarkable and lovely for its simplicity and the loveliness. This is all about the sonnet, or about this poem. Now, the silent feature of Shakespearean sonnet, as you have to critically analyze, you have to write a question in your exam where you have to critically analyze the Shakespearean sonnet. So, you should know something that they are the silent features of Shakespearean sonnet. So, the Shakespearean sonnet consists of 14 lines, which is written in iambic pentameter. Each line contains 10 syllables that occur stressed and unstressed. This I will tell to you in your class, online class, okay? Because this is offline class, I cannot explain what is iambic pentameter and what is stressed and unstressed pair. We will take it in our offline class, okay? The poem has 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. 3 quatrains. Quatrain is a 4-line para and the couplet is a 2-line stanza, okay? So the poem consists of, because 14 lines, 4 is equal to 12 lines ke quatrains, and then the 2-line, the poem ends with the 2-line. This is the pattern of Shakespearean sonnet, okay? Every alternative rhyme together. Alternative lines means first and third, fourth and second and fourth. Okay, alternative line. First is rhyming with third, and the fourth is rhyming with second is rhyming with fourth. Then the fifth is rhyming with seventh, and in this way the process is going on. Hence, the rhyme scheme of the 14 lines, that is of sonnet, is A B C D C D E F E F G G. These are the silent feature of all the Shakespearean sonnet, and no doubt there is a minor verification, but still most of the sonnets apply the same rhyme scheme. Now come to the poem. Shall I compare thee to the summer day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May, and the summer leaves hath all too short a day. The poet says, क्या कहना चाहते हैं यहाँ पर? Summer season is beautiful in England, no doubt. It is full of birds and the beauty, and it remains full of enjoyment. But the poet feels that the beauty of his friend is more beautiful, more charming as compared to the summer day. The summer day in England is not like Indian summer day. Indian summer day is not so much pleasing, but the summer day in England, because there is cold in England, okay, the weather remains cold. So the summer day is very beautiful, no doubt. Poet accepts this thing, but the beauty and the temperament, the character of his friend is much better than the summer day. Because why? Because the rough winds of summer season shake the birds, disturb break or destroy the birds of the spring season in the May. In the May, there is spring season, we have birds, but when the summer appears in England, sometimes the rough winds destroy the birds of the May. So sometimes it's become very, not so much, but his friend always has self-control. He's always pleasing, he's always calm. So he says that his friend is better than the summer season. So the poet used the device of compare and contrast. He's comparing his friend and moreover he is trying to contrast with his beauty to the summer day. Okay, so he tries to immortalize him through his poem, and the rhyme scheme is A B AB. You can read line to line reference from this slide. Okay, the next quatrain is: sometimes too hot the eyes of heaven shine, and often is his gold complexions dims. Every fear far to sometime decline, by chance or the nature course untamed. The poet says, in summer season, sometimes the sun shines too hot, and sometimes it is covered by his dark gold complexion. That is, the shining sun is covered by the clouds, and in this way it loses its gold color. Okay, so what he wants to show in this line is that everything is affected by the change, or by the chance or the nature change, but the beauty is, the poet is confident that his friend will remain the same, his nature will remain the same. Summer season is affected by the changes of the nature, but the beauty, but the character, but the behavior of his friend will remain same. In this way, the poet wants to immortalize the beauty of his friend, and the poet is confident that through the appreciation of his poetry, he will be able to immortalize the beauty of his friend, and his friend will remain forever through the poet's line. Is it clear? The next quatrain is: but thy internal summer shall never fade, nor lose possession of that fear through aunts, nor shall death brog through wanders into his shed, when in eternal lines of times thou growest. The poet calls his friends the quality of eternal summer. He calls his friends quality, what he compares his friend's quality with the eternal summer. The poet says that time does not have effect on his friend's beauty. Death is all powerful and thus spares none. All man and the things constantly live into the shed of death, but the poets make an exceptional in the case of his friend. He says that his friends will be above death. He shall never lose the ownership of beauty which he has. It means, what he means to say, that his friend will be eternal. And how he will become eternal? Because he is praising his beauty, his character, his behavior into the lines of his poem, in his sonnet. In this way, he will be immortal. Time will not affect on his character or on his beauty. So long as, last couplet is, so long as man can breathe or the eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. The poet believes that his poetry will be appreciated. Now the two ideas are there. One is, poet tries to immortalize his friend. Second is, he is trying to immortalize his poem also. That जब तक लोग रहेंगे तब तक उसकी पोइट्री जो है वो पढ़ी जाएगी, और एंड इनडायरेक्टली हिज फ्रेंड विल बी अप्रिशिएटेड थ्रू द लाइन्स ऑफ द पोएम. सो poet believes that his poetry will be appreciated, his poetry will be read as long as man can breathe or the eyes can see. As poet is appreciating the beauty and the quality of his friend in poem, so his friend will always be charming and the young and handsome, because he is presented in this way in the line. Okay, because the lines will be same. In this way, his friend will never be old. There will be no change. Time will not affect on his beauty. So as long as the poem will be read, as long as the poem is read, the beauty, the handsome, the good looks, the character, and the image of his friend will remain the same. Okay, thus we see how artistically Shakespeare paid tribute to the beauty of his friend and also to the merit of his own verse. The last line is very important. He has the double meaning in his poem. He is appreciating very artistically to the beauty of his friend as well as the merits of his own verse. It means he is appreciating his art of writing poetry also. Is it clear? I hope you understand. If you have any problem, you can read the reference from the slides, or you can WhatsApp me if you have any questions regarding this poem. Okay, in the nutshell, We can say that this poem is a sonnet, and sonnet is made of 14 lines. This is a Shakespearean sonnet as it is divided into the 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet. The rhyming scheme of the poem is sonnet is A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. Other devices used in the poem is personification in the line, जैसे nor shall death beg the wander in his sheds. Death is personified here, that the death cannot death cannot affect on the beauty and on the quality and the behavior of his friend. Now the alliteration is there, as every far from fear use of consonant, repeated consonant is called alliteration, device of alliteration, and this is used in this line. Now the metaphor is there. Metaphor is sometime too hot line, too hot eyes of the heaven shines. The use of metaphor is upma in Hindi. Okay, the poet is using taking sun as a man who has 2 eyes and it is shining very brightly. So there is metaphor, upma, dina. Rhyme and rhythm is there. So long life. In the last couplet we have rhyme and rhythm. I hope you understand. Just go back to the text of the poem and you will find all the devices. If you have problem, you can ask me a question to the YouTube or the WhatsApp or through my mail. Okay, the keywords which are very important to the poem is compare. Compare are when we compare the dissimilar things. Compare is tulna karna. That's dissimilarity between the two things is called. Shake is vibrate, hilna. Eternal is forever. Complexion, color of the skin is called complexion. Decline is gradually become less. Berg is a burst. Untamed is not tamed. Okay, these are the different important words that you need to remember from the poem. Thank you very much, dear students. I will be back with you with a new slide. Okay, bye bye. Have a nice day ahead.